Hey, what's up, guys? I hope you guys have a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. I'm going to give you guys a second to come into the conversation, and I'm going to send out a note to everybody who is in the family. This is the platform for intelligent Black people. So, if you're Black and intelligent, you're in the right place. If you're not Black or you're not intelligent, you may want to get the fuck out because I'm probably going to hurt your feelings or say something that's over your head or talk above your pay grade. So just be ready for that. But if you want to be more intelligent, then by all means, you should stay. By all means, please hang out. It's going to be fun. Hey, Vic, how you doing? What's going on, Miss Nuru and Elevation Allah, Catherine Miller and Brill Knox and Shalonda and Lakeisha and Vicky and Paris Canty and John Doe, Sean Wooten, Creator Ruckus, Landon Brown, Baltimore, Maryland. What's going on? Okay, Baltimore, Maryland. Keep spreading the facts, brother. Oh, absolutely. I sure will. I sure will. Now, in fact, speaking of spreading the facts, I'm going to go ahead and send a text out to the family to let them know that we're live. If you want to get a text notification when I go live, just text the word Boyce to 31996. Text Boyce and text it to the number 31996. Hit the thumbs up button while I send out this quick text message, or you can get onto the text list. Just text it to 31996. My name, Boyce. This is going to be an interesting topic. I don't have long to talk, but I have a few things I want to break down for you that I think are going to be fun to discuss. So give me 1 second here. Let me see here. All right. Okay, here we go. All right. So here's the deal. Here's what I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to tell you exactly why I'm talking about this. I like to talk about what's happening in the world, but I don't, as you guys know, or I hope you know at this time, we really elevate conversations. We don't, we might start off talking about silly shit, but at the end of the day, we're not silly people. And the fact is that the world is run by silly shit. So in order to pull people to the real shit, sometimes you got to go climb down in the bullshit. Because at the end of the day, Black people are the shit. So we just have to learn how to get away from shit so we can become the shit that we're meant to be. And so, speaking of shit, I saw that there was some conversation about this rapper Future. Future is he had a baby with this lady named Ciara, who drop dead gorgeous woman, brilliant lady in the sense that she got away from his old raggedy ass, and she got her what appears to be a real man. I'm not sure. I don't know Russell Wilson. He plays for the Seattle Seahawks. I do know that he has a contract worth, I think, well over $100 million. And has just been a model citizen. He's a smart guy. Seems to be a good dad. I just love it. I think it's great. And Future, unfortunately, does not embody those values. Future is one of those guys that, unfortunately, he doesn't represent the best of us as Black men. He kind of represents the worst of us. And I feel guilty a little sometimes when I talk about this because I realize what happens, right, that makes us into that, right? Little boys are not born to be thugs. Little babies are not born to be monsters, gangsters, killers, assholes, womanizers. We're not born. God didn't make us that way. I believe that, that when you see that kind of niggatry, that high level niggatry, that niggatry to the ninth level, it usually comes from what my friend Speech, who was from that group Arrested Development. My friend Speech refers to this as the nigger factory. Now, the nigger factory, what is the nigger factory? The nigger factory is this machine created by white supremacy that mass produces millions of niggers that really slow down the progress of Black people. They mass produce Black men who look like idiots, coons, and buffoons, and behave like complete assholes and embarrass their families. 38, 40 years old, still sagging your pants, looking like a little bitch, run around here mass promoting drugs and alcohol, mass promoting Black genocide. How dumb do we have to be in order to do that, right? Now, here's the thing, though. Again, it came from white supremacy. It came from white supremacy. But just because it came from white supremacy don't mean we can't talk about how to fix this. In fact, let me show y'all something. I can't even show you the picture because I can't do a screen share. Shit. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of just how ridiculous the Black man is made to look all around the world. Through the bad strand of hip hop. Hip hop is powerful like fire. Fire can be wonderful. It can be good. It can keep you warm, or it can burn you alive. Or hip hop is like drugs. Drugs are wonderful because drugs can heal us. Drugs make us better, but drugs can also turn you into an addict, right? So anything that's powerful can be used for good or for evil. A gun. A gun can be used to protect and to defend. You need guns. Or it can be used to kill, to mass murder people, right? If it's irresponsible use. So hip hop is a powerful, powerful weapon. Hip hop is a weapon of mass destruction. Hip hop is a weapon of lasting destruction if you use it in the wrong way. Hip hop is a method of complete mind control. And we know this. Anybody who knows this stuff, who's been listening to hip hop for a long time, understands how influential it is. Rappers were the original social media influencers before social media came out. Run DMC back, I think it was in the 80s or the 90s. They literally wanted to get an endorsement deal. Let me give you a business reason, and this will explain to you why I'm talking about Future and Ciara's. For those of y'all, for some people who are in the GED section who don't understand why I talk about everything happening in the community, it's because I'm a black man who happens to be a finance professor. I'm not a finance professor who happens to be a black man. So this is not the Bloomberg channel or the Wall Street Journal. This is a real black man talking real shit to real black people about real issues, and they happen to all connect to economics. So here's the deal, right? Let me tell you the story. Run DMC, back in the day, they were the first. If you recall, anybody tell me yes or no if you remember this. Yes or no? Do you remember this? Run DMC was the first rap group to ever get a shoe deal. Did y'all know that? Who knew that? Who knew that Run DMC was the first rap group to get a major shoe deal, where a shoe company said, we're going to make a shoe because of you, or we want you to endorse our shoe, or whatever it was. Anybody else know that? Well, how did that happen? It happened because the Adidas people were being wooed. You know, Run DMC's management was trying to get the Adidas people to understand the power of hip hop, right? And he was trying to get him to understand the effect it has on the mind. I think it was Russell Simmons, actually. I got to ask. I ain't talked to Russell in a minute. Russell's going through some stuff, but I've worked with Russell, and he was a legit guy when we worked together. But I don't know, you know, all this other stuff I can't comment on. I can only comment on what I know. And when I worked with him, he worked with me with integrity. I can confirm that. But Russell, who I believe was the business mastermind behind all of that, he brought those groups together, was trying to get Adidas to understand the power of hip hop and the power that it has on the mind. So what he did was he brought the Adidas executive to a Run DMC concert. And he told his brother, who was in the group, you know, like a Reverend Run, he told Run, he said, in the middle of the concert, I want you to stop, and I want you to tell everybody to take off one Adidas and hold it up in the air. And so he said, okay. He said they were about to perform the song, My Adidas. Anybody remember that? Anybody remember My Adidas? And literally, when he said, hold up your one Adidas in the air, thousands of people held their Adidas sneaker up in the air. Like literally, and the Adidas executive was blown away that this rap group had convinced so many people to go buy Adidas because they made a song about Adidas. So anybody who believes that hip hop does not affect the mind of the listener, they just probably don't have a mind at all. You have to literally be as dumb as they come to not understand the psychological power of hip hop, particularly over the black males who are looking up to these rappers. You know, don't think nobody, because Jay-Z ain't a billionaire, don't think they ain't a bunch of young brothers studying the game now, trying to figure out how to be the next Jay-Z. You know, and it's unfortunate. There's other ways to make $1 billion, but they're gonna all try to be rappers. You know, we'll never have a short supply of black male rappers. Like, we just kind of have an oversupply. No disrespect. You know, some of y'all probably don't need to be rapping. Some of y'all need to be like doing something different. You know, there's a lot of other jobs you can do besides rapping. Everybody ain't got to be a rapper. With that said, you know, there's always been a psychological power of hip hop. Hip hop rappers were the original social media influencers before there was social media. In fact, I'm in New York right now, and I had a meeting downtown with a group that was basically meeting with me to pitch me something related to social media influence. And some of the first people they signed were rappers, right? And so because they're always more interesting than me. I mean, what am I? I'm just a black professor. Whoever said, why would we ever think a professor is as relevant as somebody who raps for a living? I don't know. I mean, professors. Who needs professors, right? Who needs smart people, right? Let's all just be like the Migos. Anyway, speaking of the Migos, and speaking of influence, and speaking of just what's kind of happened to some of the music and how the music's been used to poison you. And I'm getting back to Future in a minute because it's about Ciara's comment about Future, and I'm going to jump into that. I saw the Migos, right? And the Migos were in this Mountain Dew commercial. I believe that's what it is. And of course, because white people are paying you money, you think that makes your shit legit. That makes it okay because they're giving you money to do it. So they're doing their little, they rap like preschoolers. Like they're like, pick it up, chicken, like it doesn't make, it's weird. It's like literally some of the most like mentally retarded shit you've ever heard in your life. But whatever, styles change. So they're doing their little Tweety Bird rap where they're spitting this baby garble, whatever comes out of their fucking mouth. And do you know that these men, as they were rapping, were riding fucking tricycles? Now I need you to think about this. It didn't hit me till I had to see the commercial twice for it to really hit me, for it to really body slam me upside my head. I said, wait a minute. Is this how they see the black man? They got these grown ass men riding motherfucking tricycles. Am I the only person who just is like whose head is about to explode? Am I the only one? Seriously, grown ass men on tricycles. And then I saw another commercial for, I forgot what it was, and it was 2 Chainz. And he's wearing this clown suit. He's literally wearing a suit. He looks like a clown. It's got 1,000 different colors on it. He's sitting in a chair in a beauty shop, and he's wearing like it's like a tie-dye, like multicolored clown suit. And I'm like, damn, is that what the fuck a black man got to do to make some money in this fucking world? Is ride a fucking tricycle? Or they won't ride, they were riding big wheels. Same damn thing. Big wheel tricycle, either way, that's for preschoolers. That's not for grown ass men. Let me just, am I the only one who has to say this? I mean, am I the only one who thinks this is strange? That the times when I see black men on TV, you're riding a big wheel and you got children. You shouldn't ride a big wheel past the age of 8. I was 7 on my big wheel, and I felt like I'm too old for this. I need to get me a bike. Like my friends are gonna make fun of me on be a 7. I can't ride a big wheel, mama. So I don't even. Maybe it was even 5. How old were you when you realized you was too grown for a motherfucking big wheel? How many of you, like, how old were you? Give me an age. Tell me how old you were, because it sure as hell wasn't 29 or however old the Migos are. Seriously. And what does this make me think about? It makes me think about the fact that I remember Malcolm X's bodyguard. When they were asking him about the death of Malcolm X, and he said he cried. And they said, well, why were you so upset? Why did you cry? He said, because Malcolm, when I was around Malcolm, I felt like I was a man. He said, because in America, they don't want the black man to be a man. They want the black man to stay a little boy. And I'll be damned if I didn't think about that when I saw these motherfuckers on some goddamn big wheels, and thinking that it's okay because white people gave you money. So when I was talking about Jay-Z and reflecting on why Jay-Z is a billionaire and most of these rappers are not, and again, Jay-Z ain't perfect. There's a lot of areas where you could critique Jay-Z, but I have to give Jay-Z credit. Jay-Z made a conscious decision at certain points in his career to say, wait a minute, I'm not a kid no more. I'm not trying to be a 42-year-old teenager. I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. So do y'all know when Jay-Z used to wear those jerseys, those big long jerseys, those throwback jerseys back in the 90s? Anybody remember the throwbacks? Anybody remember back when he wore the throwbacks? And Jay-Z said, no, I'm not wearing it anymore. My look is changing. I'm reinventing myself. I'm gonna start dressing like a business man. He said, so he started wearing the suits and the ties. He started looking like a grown-up. And the throwback jersey industry damn near collapsed after that because they were selling all their jerseys because Jay-Z had all the black men run around dressing like teenagers at the age of 35. And I don't believe that our community can ever prosper if our grown men are children, with sagging pants, riding tricycles on Mountain Dew commercials. I just don't believe that we can ever be seen as a serious group of people. There's nothing to take seriously about a group of people where your greatest role models are riding tricycles on a Mountain Dew commercial. I know they weren't tricycles, it's big wheels, but who gives a fuck? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Seriously. Hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button. You're watching drboycetv.com. Please make sure you subscribe. Also, we're on iTunes and SoundCloud. So if you want to listen on iTunes or SoundCloud, just go to iTunes or SoundCloud, download the app, and you can listen to the podcast anywhere that way. And if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, please go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. Please hit that thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up, share the video, all that good stuff. So more specifically, let's go back to Future and Ciara. I use those examples because Future is the prototype, unfortunately, of misguided genius. I will give him credit for being, there's something smart that he has done that other people did not do. Maybe he just got lucky, but I don't think it's just luck. I think there's something there in terms of intelligence. But he invented all this mumble rap. Like literally, if you look at the origins of mumble rap, it started when Future made a song called Tony Montana in 2011. And in the song, all he did was he repeated the words, Tony Montana, 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 Tony Montana. And that's all. And he kind of mumbled it. And he literally was like, afterward, he said, I couldn't believe, he said, man, that shit was real, bro. That I was able to just mumble Tony Montana over and over again. And he was high at the time. And he said that was a hit. And literally, because our community is so backward mentally, because we are so mentally slow, we really we dug that shit. Like we really grabbed onto that. So then other rappers started imitating what he was doing. Why? Well, because rappers are not creative artists in many cases. Not all of them. Some of them are real. Some of them are really doing their thing. J. Cole seems creative. Kendrick Lamar seems creative. D1 is creative. There are lots of creative artists out here, but then you got artists that are corporate products. They come from the nigger factory. And the artists in the nigger factory are the ones who are controlled by record labels run by people who are not black. Maybe they're white, maybe they're Jewish, whatever, but they're not black. And they're pretty much saying, okay, this Negro over here, this other guy from the nigger factory did a hit, and all he did was he got high and drunk, and he said Tony Montana over and over again. So apparently you people are so dumb that you don't actually have to use words now. You can just mumble anything that sounds good on a song. And as long as you have the right imagery, here's what you must have in order for the song to be a hit, because your community is so poisoned and so backwards. Just throw in some half-naked women that you look like you're gonna have sex with because you're sexually irresponsible and you're trying your best to get AIDS so you can infect as many black women as possible. Make sure you have some weapons so you can practice black genocide. We need y'all to kill each other so that we as white people don't get in trouble for it, because we getting tired of killing you, because we don't want to take the heat. So we need y'all to do it for us. We need you to throw around some money that's really not your money, because you really, you're gonna be famous for about a year or two, and then you're gonna be broke again back in the hood because you got those bad habits or whatever, right? So you just throw that same imagery into the video, and it's the same thing all over again, right? The exact same thing over and over again. And Future's kind of the creator of that. He is the master of that. He is probably single-handedly responsible for creating hundreds of thousands of drug addicts just by, consistently promoting drugs. I think he had a song called Molly Percocet, and he kept repeating it over and over again like a jingle. And any psychologist will tell you, my baby is a psychologist. Baby, if a child is hearing a lyric that says Molly Percocet, Molly Percocet, Molly Percocet, Molly Percocet over and over and over again, what happens to their brain? They're programmed. Say it louder. They're programmed to do Molly Percocet, right? Exactly. It's just like if I program into the black child, you are beautiful. You are like Nas did. See, that's the thing. That's why you got to give New York rappers credit for the fact that they had a level of intelligence. It's not a surprise that Jay-Z is the first hip hop billionaire when you think about it, because New York rappers have always been smarter than rappers across the country. The LA rappers, unfortunately, I actually liked their music when I was a kid, but the LA rappers, it was like kind of like really pushing gangster stuff out there really hard and killing it, like kill without necessarily thinking about the implications of that music. It was only the New York rappers, no disrespect to the West Coast rappers. I have a lot of West Coast friends and West Coast rappers that I love, but I'm just telling y'all the truth. The New York rappers were always the ones who understood, just like Russell Simmons understood back in the day, that hip hop is the original social media influence, and hip hop can be used to transform minds. That's why Nas made that song. I know I can be what I want to be what I want to be. If I work hard at it, anybody remember that song? Tell me if you remember that song. I'll be where I want to be. Remember that? He did that because he knew that he could program our children to be great. He knew that because he wanted to program our children to be special. He did that because he wanted to program our children to see the beauty and the amazement of being black, the power of your melanin. That's what Nas was doing, right? So the same way he was programming our children to be great, when you have another black man, grown ass black man who should know better, programming our children to be drug addicts, you should be concerned about that. The United States government would never allow any corporation to go on TV and repeat the words Molly Percocet over and over again in a commercial to get you to go buy their drugs. They won't even let you do that with cigarettes, let alone drugs that actually kill people. They wouldn't do that. So black people, stop thinking that a rapper who makes money is a good rapper. No, a good rapper sometimes ain't got nothing to do with how much you make it, how much money you're making. Stop connecting the two. Again, I'm a money guy. I'm a finance professor. I understand the power of money. And that's where I'm coming in. As a black man and as a finance guy, I'm seeing money addiction causing us to co-sign on absolute self-destructive bullshit. And we must speak up on this. Seriously. So Ciara made a comment recently where she was speaking about, how people making comments about Future and the the shithole of a human being that he is in some ways. I gotta call it like I'm sorry. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be diplomatic, but I just can't. I mean, bro, if you're watching, man, come on, man. You're almost like a grandfather. Like, I mean, can you please act like you don't work for the KKK just for a second? Like, just anything. Like, I'm begging you. But anyway, so Future, she says, that it affects the child when people talk about their daddy, and it bothers her. And I was like, yeah, I can see that. I understand that. And there's nothing to say about that. There's not much to say about that other than, one, I feel for you. I'm sorry that it has to go that way. But then two, I think that you understood that, right? I think that you understood some of this when you chose to have this relationship and then ultimately have a child with a man who's in the public eye, right? I mean, you don't accidentally end up with two super world famous men in a row. And I think that based on her relationship structure, I don't know this woman's life like that on a detailed level, but it looked like she did an upgrade. And from where I'm standing, I'm proud of her. I think it's great. You made a conscious choice as a mom to put your children in a scenario where they were going to have a dad who appears, at least to publicly, to be trying to be dad of the year. I think that's awesome. No qualms with Russell at all. I think that he is he's phenomenal. God bless him. Now, in terms of Future, I think that shows the other side of one simple reality. Children, their lives and their happiness and their well-being is shaped by the decisions of the mother. If the mother makes good choices about the men she brings into the child's life, then the child will benefit. But if the mother makes bad decisions about who she brings into the child's life, then many times her children will suffer. I've seen it happen a million times. And you see, I've seen children get molested because their mother brought some guy into the house that she didn't know very well and had him babysitting her daughters or whatever, or even her sons. And the children suffer because of that. And so, I've always said this. I've always believed this, and I think people should. I mean, as quick as we are to dog the daddies when the daddies don't do right, which we should be dogged when we're not doing our job. I'm not saying that we shouldn't, but we got to also talk about and understand the power of the mother. There's no power that matches the power of the mother. So all of this that the son is feeling comes from the extreme hot and cold choices that it looks like Ciara made in her personal life. Her first choice when it came to Future was a really, really bad choice, right? But then she corrected it, and now she made a really, really good choice. And I think at the end of the day, the children are going to be better off. So maybe there's a point where she has to talk to her child about some of what's happening on social media. It's not going to go away. I don't think anybody's going to feel sorry for a child of a celebrity whose, parents are worth millions of dollars. Nobody's going to give you sympathy. I mean, there are poor kids who are getting bullied every day, and get beat up on the way home from school. And, so, the amount of sympathy I think the world can have for Ciara or the children is somewhat limited. But I just want to say in general, it just kind of, it kind of bothers me when it's one thing if guys like Future are out there and they're living the way they live because they don't know any better, but it bothers me a lot more when we act like that's okay, when we as a community don't say, that's not really how we operate. That's not how black men roll. That's not what we do. Now somebody says Ciara dated Shad Moss and 50 Cent. Yeah, so maybe she likes guys that are famous and all that. I think that maybe that's a lesson for women. Like, when you go chasing these bad boys and these famous men, these men with money, you need to make sure you get a man who's rich with integrity too. If he's rich with dollar bills, but he's a piece of shit, he will ruin your life. Let me just tell you about all the ways he can destroy your life if he's not a man of integrity. So ladies, at the end of the day, it's very important for you to think about that, because whatever choice you make, good or bad, your children will be affected. Like, for example, I already know who I'm going to marry. Y'all, I think y'all know, wink, wink. And the thing is that, my role in her children's life is huge. If I went in there and I was a terrible asshole and I was destroying things and hurting people and beating people up and molesting or crazy stuff like that, like that would ruin these children for life. So it's very important that she knows what kind of man she's allowing into the household. So women, you just think about that. You protect your children, protect your womb. Your womb is one of the most valuable, most precious things. There's nothing more, very few things more precious than the womb of a black woman. So don't let any old raggedy ass son of a bitch up in your body if he don't deserve it. So in fact, sometimes letting a person like that into your space or letting a person like that into your life is a reflection of a self-esteem issue that you may have. Maybe you feel like you're better because you're with this person who has this supersized ego and whatever, and all this confidence that's totally unjustified, right? But at the end of the day, I really think it's self-esteem. It's not even just for the ladies either. I mean, I've seen men as well, myself included, at times where I would be like, when I was younger, especially, you're younger and you don't really know who you are and you kind of go along with bullshit because you want to fit in. And then there'll be times I'll be like, man, what do I really think of myself that I'm even allowing this person in my space? My life is too valuable for me to let somebody in my space who's going to ruin it and make me end up having me look like garbage out here, right? So I think that's just kind of the lesson we can walk away with. And if you don't think that those sorts of things affect you long term in terms of economics and everything else, believe me, let me just say this: you can't build an empire if your personal life is wrecked. It's a complete mess, right? So when you pick your personal life, your partner in life, think about it like starting a business. When you marry that person, you're starting a business together, and it's the most important business you'll ever run. And if you have a bad person that's running the business with you, then that's going to ruin every other opportunity that you get. People won't want to work with you because your life is out of control. I've had people where I couldn't work with them because I'd be like, okay, I like you a lot, but your spouse is crazy. Your husband's out of control, or your wife won't, don't know when to chill out, and so you get away from people like that. So just be very thoughtful about who you let into your space, because all of y'all are in here. Most of y'all are wannabe bosses, or you already are bosses. That's why you're here. That's why, there's a few hundred people watching this live stream and not 50,000. Well, because most people don't relate to what I'm saying. Most people are somewhere else mentally, whatever. Let them go be the worker bees. Let them go be let them go make the dumb decisions. You're here because you're a boss and you got something to build, you got something to protect, you got something to defend, something to love. So cherish that. It's valuable. Don't let any asshole come in and mess it up. Seriously. All right. So anyway, hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button. And somebody asked me, do I think Transamerica is a scam? I don't know much about Transamerica, so I just want to let you know that I apologize if I didn't answer the question. Please hit the thumbs up button. And also don't forget, we have financial flashcards for children and workbooks for children. So summertime starting, and this summer I'll have my kids in the house working on the flashcards every other day and also going through the workbooks. So please consider this for your children. You can go to financialflashcards.com or financialworkbooks.com. Do something, even if you don't let us educate your kids. Just give them something so they can get out here and compete in this world. So it's financialworkbooks.com and financialflashcards.com. And also, in fact, speaking of that, I'll make a quick comment. We're about to go to the movies. We're in New York this week, so it's kind of cool. I love New York. Anyway, with Jay-Z being a billionaire, I think it's awesome. I think he deserves it. I think Jay-Z has really, carried himself in a way that exemplifies what I would like to see from a lot of rappers in terms of masculinity. I know you got to grow into that. So maybe it's going to take time for other rappers to kind of get the memo. But I think the right guy won the equation. The right guy won the race. I think Jay has been brilliant as an artist. He's been brilliant as a businessman. He's also another thing that's helped him stand out from the crowd is that he has been unique in his approach. He hasn't done what the typical rappers do. If you follow Jay's career, and I know a little bit about Jay's career, a little bit more than most, because I'm pretty good friends with Damon Dash, and we've worked a lot. We actually have that program at intelligentbossmoves.com where we actually taught a business class together, and it's still out there. If you want to go to intelligentbossmoves.com and check it out, you can. He drops a lot of jewels. Dame gets credit for being the originator behind Jay-Z. Dame gets to be, he gets credit, in my opinion, for being the person that pushed Jay-Z out on stage, because Jay didn't actually really want to go perform, from what I understand. Dame actually pushed him out there. He's the one that really, got him on the radio when nobody else would put him on the radio, right? There was a time where Jay-Z couldn't get a record deal. There was a time when Jay-Z couldn't, get a business deal, couldn't get on the radio, couldn't get none of that. And so to me, it just kind of speaks to the importance of never giving up on yourself. I think all of y'all out here, most of you, many of you may have something you're trying to move forward and get off the ground. Well, keep working on your craft, keep making your shit better, keep on grinding, keep on going. Because when you abort that dream and you kill it, that dream's dead. That dream ain't coming back. It's not going to drop in your lap. You have to really be in it. You have to be in it with both feet. You got to be triple committed. You just got to say, this is what I am. I'm about this life. I love myself and I love this dream till the wheels fall off. Seriously. Like for example, even with my own life, I see a lot of what you guys see when it comes to me and my brand. I see what you see. You probably see a guy who's pretty smart most of the time, but he's a little crazy. He says things that maybe are a little risky. I say a lot of things that get me in trouble with people. There are a lot of people that won't work with me because they're like, oh, we don't know what this guy's going to say. But they listen because they can't deny the fact that I know what I'm talking about, because I probably have more education in my field than they do, right? So, but the thing is, I know these things, right? There are times where I'll say, gosh, if I really just learned to be a little more tame, I could probably have more friends. I could probably have more opportunities. I could probably work with this corporation or that corporation. And then I'm just like, no, I got it. That ain't what I signed up for. I signed up for the Boyce Watkins package, and the Boyce Watkins package means it's like riding a Bronco. It's like, okay, you're going when you're winning by being Boyce Watkins, then you're good. But if you're losing by being Boyce Watkins, you're going to have to stick with Boyce. That's who you are. That's what you committed to. And what that required that was not just a journey in business. That was actually a journey in self-love. It was a journey in me just really looking at myself and looking at who I am at the core of my soul and saying, how do I find a way to make sure I always love that man no matter what? I need to love that guy. No homo, by the way. But I need to love that. I need to love that guy through thick and thin. I need to love him when he's great. I need to love him when he's horrible. I need to love him when he's tall. I need to love him when he's short. I need to love him when he's on point. I need to love him when he fucks up. I need to love him when he fits in. I need to love him when he's a reject. I need to love him when he's doing well. I need to love him when he's doing poorly. I need to love him when he works hard. I need to love him when he's lazy. I need to love. That's who I'm riding with. So at that point, it was almost like a marriage between the man I was and the man I wanted to be. It was like, okay, I want to be this guy, and I need to learn to love this guy. And here's this guy over here who's kind of like this guy over here, but he's also trying to fit in. He's trying to be something else. I need to mix these two together and not look back, right? And so ultimately, when you see me kind of operate in a way that's a little bit different, I know I sound a little bit different when I talk. It's because every day I renew those vows, to who I am. I am who I am, and fuck it. If people don't like it, they don't like the fact that I cuss, then fuck it. Go watch Dave Ramsey some damn body or whatever the hell you want to do. But I have to accept that, right? And then the other thing you have to do, this is another thing. This is me just spitting the game at you guys. Let's telling you the truth. At least my philosophy, Boyce Watkins philosophy on achieving whatever the hell you're trying to do. The other thing is, your dream is like your baby. You gave birth to that. That came out of you, right? That came from you. Right. So when you have a baby, you got to love that damn baby. That baby is tiny. That baby's insignificant. People step on that baby. People don't even see the baby if you lay it on the side of the street. Nobody is going to take care of that baby but you. So when you give birth to that damn baby called your dream, you have to nurture that damn thing. You got to protect it. You got to feed it. You got to cradle it. You got to defend it against the attackers. You need to fight back when people tell you to abort it. You need to do everything you can to protect that baby until it grows up and becomes a dream that's big enough that other people have to acknowledge it. Like a human being. When a human being gets big enough, they can defend themselves. You can't, like Apple Computer. You can't tear down Apple Computer. You can't tear down Google. But there was a time where Apple was nothing but a figment of somebody's imagination. Google was just a little shitty company running somebody's garage that wasn't worth 10 nickels. But somebody had to defend that baby dream while it was a baby so the dream could grow up. So same thing. So with yourselves, and I'll say this and I got to go. We're about to go see Godzilla. Look, pick your dream and you love that baby. You love that ugly ass baby and you act like it's the most beautiful baby in the world. Because ain't nobody gonna love an ugly baby but his mama. And don't let nobody tell you to kill that baby. Don't let nobody tell you that the baby's ugly. You just keep taking care of the baby. Maybe you give the baby some reconstructive facial surgery so he won't be so ugly, whatever. But you keep working on whatever your little dream is. You keep working on it, working on it, working on it, working on it, working on it until it becomes big enough that it becomes real and other people start to see it too. Like now, I don't have to tell anybody that it means something to be Dr. Boyce Watkins because I've been, my brand's been exposed to probably 100 million people. Literally, my YouTube channel is about to pass 100 million views in about a month or something, right? So it's been out there, right? A lot of people have seen it, so it's easy now. It's easy, like, yeah, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins. That means something. But there was a time back in 2004, 2005, 2006, when I was sitting in my little office in Syracuse and nobody knew who I was. Nobody cared that I was there. I was on my way to being kicked out of my job because I tend to just have this horrible habit of fighting with white people. And I remember saying to myself, I'm going to love this baby and I'm going to stick with it. And one day I'm going to make the name Dr. Boyce Watkins mean something to somebody other than me and my mama. And it was through consistent work that I got there, and it did not happen overnight. So, if you really about this life and you're really trying to be somebody, go for it. I love what Jay-Z did. I'm very proud of him. I mean, the man came out of the Marcy Projects and he's now a billionaire. You got to clap for that. Mad respect for him, and even Ciara, going back to Ciara, sure, she made a mistake. She dated a termite, but now she's dating a real man, so good for her. She's a young lady who made better decisions and I'm happy for her for that. And her children will benefit from that. So anyway, we got to go. We're about to go to the movies. I think she's mad at me for calling future a termite, but shit, y'all know what I'm talking about. Come on now. Anyway, hit the thumbs up button. Please hit that thumbs up button before you go. Please hit the thumbs up button. Also, don't forget we're on iTunes and SoundCloud, so download those apps if you'd like to see us or listen to the podcast on iTunes or SoundCloud. Also, my new book, Black American Money 3, is out. So if you want to go check out the whole book series, you can go to blackAmericanmoney.com. That's blackAmericanmoney.com. Also, don't forget we have our masterclass on investing, learning how to invest. So if you're interested in learning how to invest, we meet Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. So feel free to go sign up at drboycemasterclass.com. That's drboycemasterclass.com. You can use the code word Powernomics and get half off the cost of tuition. So feel free to go check that out, drboycemasterclass.com. I'm out, guys. I'm going to go see Godzilla. I'm going to tell you guys if it's good or not. I'll see you later. Be good. Peace.